Hey guys, are you listening to this episode on Himalaya?
If you are, we just want to say congratulations because you're already using the best podcast app out there.
And if you're not, you're totally missing out.
Yes, you should be having FOMO for sure.
Major FOMO.
Whether you're a podcaster or a fan,
Himalaya is designed with you in mind.
Himalaya has a ton of cool features like curated, shareable playlists and collections that are made just for you, along with personalized recommendations to help with content discovery.
And the best part is, it's super easy to use.
So like I could even use it?
You could use it. We could use it.
Wow.
They could use it. We could all use it.
It is definitely my favorite listening app, and I'm sure it'll be yours too.
So do yourself a huge favor and download Himalaya today, and be sure to follow our show once you're there.
So friendship, it's a funny thing.
Is it?
It is. And you know, Ash, like I appreciate you for so many things.
I appreciate you, Taryne.
So many things. I love you. I do.
I love you.
But there's one thing that like you tend to do a lot that like I don't love.
Oh, shoot.
And that's take photos of me while I'm on the toilet. It's the most unnerving experience when you're just sitting there and the door flies open. So you panic and then to turn and see your best friend
but here's
with
the
a
thing.
Polaroid camera.
But here's the thing. If we're talking about this past weekend, the door was wide open.
Okay, in my defense, I like threw it behind me and it didn't catch.
So then can you blame me?
So what you're saying is
for
if
walking in,
you leave a door open, anyone has the right to take photographic images of you.
Here's the other thing. For some background, I constantly get selfies from Taryne of her on the toilet. So in my head, not only are you okay with photos on the toilet, but if the door is wide open, then I feel like you're asking for it. You might, I don't even know if you noticed, but every time I went to the bathroom this weekend, I locked both doors.
Yeah, so I
to
never
make
get
sure
a
that
chance.
no one could walk in on me.
Well, then all this to say, I asked for it, I guess. So, thank you.
Should we do a poll? Should we ask them? Should we post this?
Is it okay to take a photo of your friend on the toilet? If you, well, mate.
It depends on how close of a friend you are, is what I think it comes down to.
Yeah.
And I think I've given enough evidence to
That I
show
should
that
beware.
we're close enough, and you should know that you have
We'll
provoked
repost
this.
this Polaroid, and you guys can see the look of sheer like anger and terror in my face.
She was very upset. We were also at our friend's Bachelorette party this weekend. And like that was like what started off the
was
whole
the very
weekend. Like we
first
hadn't even
photo.
started yet, and that was the first Polaroid we took.
Hello, y'all.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Ashley,
I'm Taryne.
and we are
Unsolicited advice. Good job, Ash.
It honestly does not get any better every time we like.
No,
it just
I don't
sounds
know why we
not
turn
great.
on these like game show host voices.
Hello,
too.
everyone, and welcome back to.
Unsolicited.
I think it's like it just makes it extra awkward, and
That's
we
true.
just like love the awkwardness of it all. So we
We
just
do love
we just
awkward.
kind of lean into it.
Yes.
You know, we don't fully embrace the TV
Yeah.
show thing, but like every time we say it, it just kind of
Yeah.
sounds very like Wheel of Fortune-esque.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you feel like since knowing me, you've leaned more into your awkward side?
Oh, 100%. I have multiple people. I have had recently probably 3 people say that Taryne brings out a side of you that I've never seen before. And I think it's the same side that like me and Alicia get around each other where
Yeah.
we're just like goofy sisters.
Yeah.
I feel like you do the same thing to me. So a lot of people are
Honored.
always surprised. They're always like, oh, wow, you act really different around Taryne. You act more like funny and aloof and like carefree. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's because I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No, I love it. I love watching that side of you emerge. Like
Do
a
I
baby
bring anything fun out in
butterfly.
you?
I feel like
Probably
you
not.
egg me on. You egg me on for sure because you laugh at me, and I've said this before in episodes. When someone laughs at me, I'm like, oh, it's on.
Oh, she just keeps
Yeah.
going. She just keeps going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So I don't know if you can tell, but I have been sick. I feel like I've been sick a lot. No, I usually lose my voice.
I feel like you've been about
about to be sick a lot.
Oh, you think
But
this
you've
is
actually
like,
finally gotten sick.
It
Because this
caught me.
last time you were, this was what, like a month ago, I felt like
Yeah.
you were feeling sick.
Yeah.
I was the one who ended up getting
Yeah.
sick. Thank you for that. And then you're just now getting it.
Yeah, it's like
I think
like
it's been
I've been
coming.
running from
Yeah.
the sickness, and then I just tripped, and it caught me.
She tripped on Saturday
It
and
caught
it's now
me.
Monday and she's full cold
Yeah.
mode. Except I disagree. She says she hates her like raspy voice. I think it's like, I love, you guys probably remember if you're a Friends fan,
Yeah.
Phoebe,
Yep.
she wanted to get sick so that she could sing in a sexy raspy voice.
Yeah.
I like the raspy sexy voice. So
Thank you.
I feel like my voice has always been too high, especially when like I have to be on, like on a camera
Yeah.
or even on the podcast. I feel like it took a couple episodes for me to actually be like, you don't have to be like this all the time, Ashley.
Find your
You know,
decibel.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, just calm down and talk,
Yeah.
and let your voice just be normal. So yeah, I feel like I like the deeper, like raspy.
Thanks. I think there's a
Low-key
difference.
jealous.
There's like the raspy, sexy, like low tone voice, which I have right now, and then there's like when it's like super nasally, and you're like,
That's when it's gross.
you know, when like
when you can like
someone's
hear,
talking and you yourself are going,
yeah,
because you're just like, oh my
You're
god,
like, oh
clear your
God.
throat, I can
Oh,
hear
God.
it. Yeah.
No, yeah. That's gross.
Anywho, to start this episode off, I figured we could do a fun game.
Oh, I love games. Let's do it.
We're going to do word association.
Okay.
So I'm going to say a word, and you can't pause or think. You just have to say the first word that comes to your head.
I'm not good at these kind of things.
I know
but-
you're not, which
okay.
is why I want to do it, because
Right.
it'll
Right.
be funny.
Naturally. Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
Horse. Ashley,
Maine.
you have to say it right away.
Maine.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Pizza.
Pie. I
Pizza
don't know
pie.
why. I don't know why. You told me not to pause.
Okay, ready? Sand.
Dunes.
Yours like makes sense, but they're also like kind of like a left turn, you know? I feel it though.
Sand
Okay.
dunes, I feel like that's spot on.
Ready? Duck.
Goose. It's in the bird family.
Okay. Ticket.
Police.
Rose.
Gold. I don't know why I was going
Gold? Oh,
Gold.
rose gold. Sure. Shark.
Tank.
Shark
Hoo-ha-ha.
tank. Hoo-ha-ha. Snake.
Bite.
Okay. Lips.
Plump.
What?
I don't. People do lip plumping.
Sure.
Sure.
Forest.
Gump.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You actually did pretty good.
Thank you.
Last one. Door.
Slam. Slam. I feel so like none of those were good.
I mean, all of them were in the family of what that word could go
I
with.
think it all made sense. It just wouldn't be what someone would normally
Not your first
think
thought.
of. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm more like door, knob. You know what I mean?
Oh.
But you
I didn't
did
even
action
think
word.
knob. I just saw a door slamming in my head.
And there you have it. Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah. So
So if you want us to do more games, let us know.
we should. I feel like we should. I feel like that was great.
Well, I feel like okay. I'm gonna come up with a game soon, and I'm gonna do it to you.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
switch. We'll take turns.
Cool.
This is fun.
Yeah.
I like this.
How is there anything like within this last week you'd love to update us on while I cough real fast?
Just a little cough break for you.
Yeah.
Not much. We went to our friend's Bachelorette. So, see, that's what's hard is we spent the weekend together at a friend's Bachelorette. So you already know everything, but
That's
the listeners do not.
They don't.
I
Unless they follow us on our socials, which then you would see
hey.
fun stories.
Ash Nicole _XO.
Tar-
Unsolicited advice.
Taryne Renee.
Pod. We went to Palm Springs for our friend's
Yeah, we did.
Bachelorette. We had so much fun.
It was so fun.
We went out dancing. We swam in the pool. We cooked. We ate a lot.
Yeah.
We ate a lot. Our friend is gluten-free and vegan. And we went full on. I got 24 gluten-free vegan donuts, which, fun fact, those are expensive.
How much was just like a dozen?
You don't even want to know.
No, I do want to know.
Okay. I was shocked.
Okay.
And
Let me guess.
I just decided this was going to be a gift from me because
Okay.
I didn't look at the price because I
Can I
assumed
guess?
I assumed donuts. Yeah. Go ahead, guess.
Um,
And I remember it fully, so
okay, for a dozen, I would guess if I'm thinking like overpriced, it like $25
For a dozen donuts.
for a dozen.
One would think.
More than that?
Yes.
So that's more than $2 for one donut.
Yep.
How much was it?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Guys, you should have seen me. I put my card in and I was just like, well, shoot, I'm out. Like, I'm done.
When he said it, did you try to have a normal fit? I've done
I
that
was
so many
like-
times where I'm like, don't look poor, Taryne.
Well,
Act like this is not a big deal.
Exactly. That always happens. And then you sit there and you're like, wait, which card do I use? And then, and then
Let me check my balance. real
yeah,
fast.
yeah. I don't know why. It was clearly posted all over the place, but I just asked for 2 dozen and then we went through the whole thing. We picked out individual donuts.
Yeah.
He gives me the total and I was just like,
Okay, tell me the
Okay.
suspense.
it was $7 a donut,
Shut the frick up.
$50 for a dozen. And your
You
girl
spent-
got 2.
You spent over $100 on those donuts. Well, good thing we ate them all.
We literally ate them all, which is great.
Holy
But
crap.
I was shocked. I almost took back the last dozen.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? It's her bachelorette, and she has wanted
Yeah.
these donuts for a long time. And I was just like, you know what? It's going to be my gift. So we did it.
That's a big gift.
No, I was genuinely, I didn't know I was going to give it.
I mean, usually I aim
I was
for
gonna,
more like
like-
$20 to $30
What-
gifts.
But like in my head, that is extremely overpriced,
Holy
right?
crap.
So in my head, I was like 2 dozen. Like, of course, I'll get extra, and then maybe we'll have like stuff for breakfast the next day or whatever.
$7 a donut?
Yeah. And the second he said it, I like looked up and saw the sign where it's clearly stated a single donut, a half a dozen, a dozen, and then, you know.
So like I would love to know, because I know like healthier options. Like I know when I was vegan, or like keto or whatever, like buying groceries was way more expensive because you had to get like a certain type of flour and a certain
Yes,
type of this.
yeah.
But I would love to know like realistic
How overpriced
much
they did it.
does it really cost to make one donut?
It doesn't cost that. I don't think it
There's
costs
no
that
way.
much.
So
Granted,
it's all
this
hype.
is like a bougie, you know, like hip
Yeah.
donut place in LA. So
they
not
can charge
only
you
is it
whatever.
super trendy and hip, but it's also in LA. Like if this was in, I don't know, Riverside or something, California, I feel like they would not be that much.
Yeah,
They would have been
that's
at least $5 max or less, not $7. So yeah,
oh my gosh.
that's
Well, what a
that's
good
my
friend.
You know, we don't even need to tell her. We'll just like,
This is a test. Does she listen to our
does
podcast?
she listen to the podcast?
I was just about to be like, oh, I'll pitch in for it, but I'm like, dude.
Well, that's what I was like. I was like, oh, we could all split it, but like I did
can.
not run
We
that by
should.
the group. I decided to buy those myself, so I was like, it's fine. You're welcome,
I feel
Ashley.
like that's something people overlook when people. We actually were just talking about this. Like when it comes to money, I'm like ultra sensitive.
Yeah.
Because I know what it's like when you go somewhere and someone's like, oh, by the way, like I decided to get this. Can everyone just Venmo me $75? And you're like, homegirl, like I
We
need
did
that
not
money.
discuss this.
Yeah. So,
Especially at Bachelorette.
yeah, there's always like these hidden charges that you're like, wow, could you have just checked with me? And I think
Yeah.
you have to be careful because it can feel very inconsiderate when like people are like not prepared for something and then you just assume everyone can afford it. Because
Right.
honestly, like you don't know what people's money situation is.
No, and people
Yeah.
are always going through things. So
Yeah.
it's like it could be a really tough time for someone. So remember that girl, one of our first episodes was of a woman who was married and had kids and
Yeah.
was going to her friend's wedding
Yeah.
and had to back out because
Yeah.
she just couldn't afford what was
Financially,
being
yeah.
asked of her.
Totally.
I feel like that happens constantly and people are just unaware of,
yeah.
you know, they expect you to be there and it's like, okay, but like
Yeah.
that dress is expensive and you want me to buy this as well and I have to fly
Yeah.
out there and
Oh
it's
my
just like
gosh,
all
yeah.
of that adds up and that all your vacation hours are gone and it's
Yeah.
just like this big ordeal.
Totally.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
All this to say, ask first, people.
Yeah, and look at the damn sign. Like
Oh.
it was above. It was like bold and like right above the donuts themselves.
Aw.
So like I could have,
It's cool.
you know, we could have just asked for one.
It's true.
my fault.
Here's
It's my
your
own fault.
one donut. Happy Bachelorette.
Happy Bachelorette.
Eat it
none for
slowly.
the rest of us.
Nope. All right. Well, I do have a teared it up. Should I do it?
Bless. Yes, please.
This is a good one. Okay.
I'm so excited.
It's titled My Flying Underwear Fiasco.
Oh my God.
Right? I was like, chonies? I'm going to read it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Hey, y'all. I'm Kayla. You can say my name.
Hey, Kayla.
Say my name. Say my name. I can't sing.
No one is
voice.
around you.
Say, baby, I love you.
Anyway,
You know the next line?
if you ain't running games.
Oh, okay. Close.
I wasn't sure. That's why I mumbled it.
It's fine. You did great. All right. I've decided I might be the most awkward person alive, and I fully embrace it. Girl,
I don't know. Taryne's
I don't know
here.
about that.
We both mentioned you.
We're like, no. Here's a quick story from my freshman year of high school that my friends still laugh about, and I still cringe over to this day, which that's rough. Freshman year to have something embarrassing happen.
Yeah.
Like everyone's insecure.
Oof.
Everyone's watching your move.
That's a rough year.
You hear about those kids, like something happens in freshman year and they have like the unfortunate nickname for like all of high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a bad time to get it.
Yeah. So the story begins the night before my embarrassing fiasco. I did my laundry, threw it all in a basket without folding, and went to sleep. When I woke up, I grabbed a sweatshirt from the basket, threw it in my backpack, and went to school. Fast forward to later that day. I'm sitting in science class, and all of our desks are arranged in a circle with the teacher in the middle giving a lecture. I get chilly and grab the sweatshirt that we talked about earlier and whip it around a little to straighten it out. You know, the action that doesn't have a word, but we all do it when we take our clothes out of the dryer.
Oh my
I
God,
hope you know. I totally know. It's the whip, like, whoosh.
Yeah, you like fling it and it makes the whipping sound. Yeah.
Yeah. I do that all the time, even when I don't need to. It's just like you pick up an article of clothing and you feel like you
if
have
there's
to.
anything on it, not anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, my main reason is because I'm terrified of spiders in there.
Yeah, well that too.
24/7.
Like
Yeah.
dust, dirt, whatever, spiders,
Yep.
bugs,
All
those things.
all the things. Okay. Well, that sent my pink heart-patterned Target underwear, which had gotten caught in my sweatshirt the night before, flying across the room and, of course, right on top of someone's desk across me on the other side of the circle.
That just went from like awkward to just hilarious.
So bad.
On someone's desk. Like
So bad.
That's hard to even try to make happen. You know? It just literally lands on someone's desk. Oh
Well,
my
and like that action with clothes is so violent. It's like,
Yeah.
which, so to see like, and just like, whoosh, you know?
God. Hence the title also. Well done.
Yep. Everyone was silent while I got up, mortified, got my underwear and walked back to my desk, put it in my backpack. The teacher proceeded the lecture with like nothing had happened. LOL. Anyways, that's my embarrassing start to high school. Now I always check my sweatshirts before I leave. By the way, I love y'all's podcast and listen every week. Love, Kayla.
No kidding. I'm going to start checking my sweatshirts and everything
Dude.
before I leave too.
Yeah, I've done the like where I've had leggings on and I'm like, what is this lump? And it's like a thong like in my leggings.
Yeah.
I've never
Or
done
a
where I've
sock,
flown
like one of those no-show socks.
Oh, yeah.
They're so tiny and small
You miss
that
them.
it looks like it could just be like a wrinkle.
Yeah.
Or like something's folded in itself. It doesn't look like it could be another article of clothing. So I've had socks fall out of pants a lot, actually.
Yeah. No, totally.
Never in public or landing on someone's desk.
Yeah.
though. That's
I
unfortunate.
did, to offer up to you, Kayla, that you're not alone. I did have a moment the other day where I had a small purse and I was like on my last day of my period. Are you proud of me, Ashley? I'm talking
Yes.
about it. Thank
yes.
you. And so like I had stuck in just like a really thin pad like into my purse. And so I was at Starbucks and I pulled out my wallet and the pad was like stuck to the outside of it.
Oh.
And the guy just like looked at me and I tried to like really quick put it in my purse and like keep going. But then I just started cracking up and I was like, oh my God. I'm
But
so
honestly, in those situations, especially like period stuff and guys, like the guys always are like extremely uncomfortable for whatever reason. It's not that big of a deal, but like they're always a little uncomfortable. I think it's better to just laugh at it. So it gives
totally.
them room to laugh at it because they don't, right at that moment, like I guarantee you, he's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh
Do
my
I
God.
act
Do
like I
I
didn't
laugh?
see?
Do I
Do I
pretend I
look?
didn't
Yeah.
see? And pretend I didn't see is usually like the go-to. But if you laugh at yourself, then the guy's like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was funny, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna laugh
Yeah, I'm
because he
good. We're
doesn't want to
good.
make you uncomfortable.
Oh, totally.
It's better.
Yeah.
It's always better. Fun fact, guys. It's always better.
Always better.
to laugh at yourself.
Laugh it off.
To
Yeah.
laugh it off. I have
Cool.
something that I wanted to share.
Oh, bring it.
This is really fun.
Okay.
I was scrolling through emails trying to pick one to read today, and I came across this one. The title caught my attention. It's not at all what I thought it was going to be. It turned out to be even better.
Oh.
The title is called "Shocked at Taryne."
Oh, no. What'd I do?
Nothing. Okay. You're fine. You're fine. So I'm going to summarize because it was a little long.
Okay.
Her name is Juvie.
Hi.
She says I could totally say her name, and she loves and lives for this podcast. Her Monday morning routine is to pop in her AirPods and go for a morning walk with her doggo listening to us.
Oh, cute.
She says she doesn't have a story to tell, but she has a pun for Taryne
Oh,
and a story of when she met both of us.
really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm excited.
Her pun is, what do you say to your sister when she's crying?
I don't know.
Are you having a crisis?
Get it? It's cry, sis.
Yeah. That was
funny.
specifically for you.
That's funny. I love
That
it.
was specifically just for you.
I loved it. I loved it.
Okay, so she goes, anywho, funny story. I've actually met both of you guys in Orange County, but was only brave enough to chase Ashley down at Target. I remember texting my friend saying, OMG, I think I see Ashley at Target. I recognized her head and immediately sent her a pic. I'll attach them for reference.
Oh my gosh, yay. I'm dying.
I just want to say, I can tell from the jacket that I'm wearing that this was from at least 4 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, that was a purple.
I was going to say your hair
jacket.
looks so
My hair
different.
is so long. I remember getting that shirt, and it was when I was going to Biola.
Oh, yeah.
And it was 100% at least 4 years ago, probably 5.
Oh my gosh, I'm dead.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Sorry, that just for those of you who can't see this, we'll post this is what we'll do when this comes out so you guys can see it as well. So go check it out on our channels. But as of right now, it's literally a picture of me pushing a cart, walking down a Target aisle from behind. Like I'm not looking at the camera at all.
No.
It's literally just me
it's
from
amazing. It's like a paparazzi
I
shot.
She says she recognized my head. She continues, and I immediately sent her a pic. That's the pic. Anywho, I told my mom, and she knew how much I watched you and Alicia, and immediately went stalker mode and helped me relocate you. LOL.
Aww.
When we found you, she pushed me. I love this. This is her mom. She pushed me into the bra section, and I was so nervous. That means her mom literally just like shoved her into the bra section. She said, you were on the phone and I didn't want to be rude at all, but you immediately told them you'd call them back, hung up, and you started talking to me.
Aww.
I was so shocked at how happy you were to meet me and made me feel so warm. I'll never forget that. And when I had a spotlight moment in your vlog, which is funny because I don't remember this, but I must have vlogged her.
Yeah.
So it must be in a vlog still.
Yeah.
And then she added another photo where I'm actually smiling.
Look at you. You're
together.
such a baby with the bras.
We're literally in the bra section at Target, and we took a photo together that
Look
her
at your
mom
cute little hand on hip
her
pose
mom
too.
must have taken. Yeah, I could tell that is an old.
Yeah.
That's me a long
you
time
look
ago.
So cute.
So funny. Anyways,
Oh my God, love this. What does your
Taryne.
shirt say?
mod. Oh, I think it said model.
You did not.
It probably said model.
Oh,
Actually,
my
I
gosh.
know it said model.
I'm
It said
dying.
model. I'm
I'm
into
dying.
myself,
I'm
I
dying.
guess. She continues. Taryne, I met you at my previous job, Brea PD. You came, you came in, and I was working at the front counter, and I immediately recognized the bright red hair. You can't miss that anywhere. I was so shocked. You came in asking if you could have your citation signed off there. And I managed to tell you to contact the agency you lived in to avoid the site sign off fee. And you were so nice and seemed so nervous to be there. I couldn't
was.
work up the courage to say I knew who you were because I honestly don't know, and I regretted it. As soon as you left, I turned around and yelled at my coworkers, I just met someone famous, and I froze like a ding dong. I was
Famous,
so
lol.
upset. Well, that's all. I love you guys and keep doing you. Would love to see you guys do a live show with a meet and greet, and maybe I won't freeze again.
Aww.
Isn't that
I'm
so
sad
cute?
she didn't say anything. I
I'm
was
sad
nervous.
she didn't say anything either. I think she might not have realized where she knew you from, but she knew you.
Well, that's hard when you're in your profession too. Like you're trying to like.
Yes. And
Just
how
be
many
chill.
times does that happen, especially living in LA, where you walk past someone and you're like, shoot,
Yeah.
who is that? And you know them from somewhere, and it's not till like later you're like, oh,
Oh,
it's from that
guy.
70s show.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when we were just at Jones and we saw Eric from that 70s show.
Oh my gosh,
And I couldn't
freaked
for the
out.
life of me remember his name.
His like real name.
His real name.
Oh crap.
We just came up with Eric.
It's Eric Foreman.
It's Eric from that 70s show.
Foreman. Yeah.
But yeah, that happens all the time. But thank you so much for sending that in. I just thought that was crazy that she's met both of us.
I know.
And that I actually had her in a vlog at some point. And yeah, that was really.
I actually have another citation I need to get signed off. So
she's like, "Oh, that reminds me."
Yeah, about that.
I love how that's how she met you.
Yeah, maybe I'll see you again soon.
Oh my god. Anyways, let's get on into our stories.
Yeah, let's take a quick break, and then do you want to go first?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, perfect.
I'll hit you guys with a title, as I always do. This one is titled "Having a Beautiful Best Friend." So.
Oh, so it's a story about your life.
It's a story about my life.
We'll be back.
Da-da-da.
So Ash,
Yeah.
if you started a business, did you dream about all those admin tasks like drafting proposals and contracts?
Dreamed or dreaded?
What about tracking down payments?
Dreaded.
That wasn't part of your plan. You know what?
What?
You need HoneyBook.
Yeah, I do. Guys, we are partnering up with HoneyBook for this episode, and I could not be more excited. If you guys have not heard yet, HoneyBook is an online business management tool that organizes your client communications, bookings, contracts, and invoices. Get this, all in one place. This is the best thing to happen to any business owners ever. It's so organized, it's so clean, and it's so simple. HoneyBook makes it simple to run your business better using professional templates, e-signatures, and built-in automation that keeps everything on track and makes you look good, which is,
I mean, that's like the goal of anything.
That's
if
the
something
ultimate
can
goal.
Successfully make you look more professional.
Jeez.
I need HoneyBook
You
in my
need
everyday
HoneyBook
life.
to just talk for you right now. It's the #1 choice for client business management for freelancers and business owners. They can even consolidate services that you already use, like QuickBooks, Google Suite, Excel, etc.
So if you guys would like to get in on this, right now, HoneyBook is offering our listeners 50% off when you visit honeybook.com/advice. Payment is flexible. This promotion also applies whether you pay monthly or annually. Just go to HoneyBook, that's honeybook.com/advice, ADVICE, for 50% off your first year.
That's honeybook.com/advice. Hey, Taryne.
Hey, Ash.
Do you ever get overwhelmed by all the things you have to do for wedding planning and stuff?
Daily.
Do you ever get overwhelmed by all the things that have to go into wedding registry and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, you're in luck. Zola is our partner today. And if you haven't heard, Zola is the wedding company that will do absolutely anything for love, is reinventing the wedding planning and registry experience to make the happiest moments in couples' lives even happier.
Love that. I mean, I haven't had a wedding personally, but I've been in 3,000, and I definitely have seen the effects of the stress that can come.
Oh my God.
Bridezillas, all that stuff.
Momzillas.
Mama
the Bridezillas.
Okay, we're going to just keep
All the
talking all the
Zillas.
Zillas. So here's some facts about Zola. There are over 1 million couples who have used Zola.
Oh, I know.
Love. Million. Anyway. Zola takes the stress out of wedding planning with free wedding websites, the easiest wedding registry ever, and affordable invite suites, and much more. There's also a FAQ section that helps address awkward questions like, are kids invited? Do I have a +1? Which I think is super cool. And also, they're the only place where you can register for honeymoon funds, gift cards, and physical gifts.
I love that they have honeymoon funds.
Yeah, dude, give me all the money.
Everything.
All the money.
All your change.
Also, you can enjoy, if you do wedding invites through them, free envelopes, free guest addressing, and free online RSVP. Boom.
Free people. FREE. Free.
Free.
Guys, if you aren't, this is for all the people that are, getting married.
We're talking to you. If you want to, you can go right now to Zola. That is zola.com/advice and get $50 off towards your registry using the code ADVICE, ADVICE. So again, go to zola.com, that's ZOLA.com, COM/advice, ADVICE, to get $50 off toward your registry today. All right, welcome back from the break. Hope it was fun. We're about to get into my story. If you guys happen to forget what I said before the break, the title is Having a Beautiful Best Friend.
For all of you who skipped through.
For you skippers out there, we want to make sure we include you too. Okay, I'm going to get into it. Hey guys, I just want to say that I love you both and I absolutely love the podcast. So many of the episodes have helped me in my life and all of my issues.
Oh, we love you and your issues.
We love you and your issues. Okay, so my name is Ashley, which I just thought, it's a big coincidence.
Hey.
That's great. But she spells it ASHLEE. There's a difference, you know. It still sounds like Ashley, but
I feel like there's differences too in personalities.
Oh, I can see that. I can totally see that too. And there's like
she's a little crazy.
She's a little crazy.
She's got a little spicy side to her.
I think LEY is a little basic.
Yeah.
And then there's always the Ashley, like the
EIGH.
Yes, EIGH.
Yeah,
and
you better watch out.
I feel like they're always like the cool ones.
Yeah.
At
With
least
a dark side.
I knew an Ashley, and I remember being like, oh, I love how yours is different. Anyways, that's the end of my story on the Ashley names. But she says, yes, you can use my name. So we have full permission to say Ashley.
We
Thanks
just
for
talked
that.
about Ashley for like 5 minutes.
And this is a story about my best friend. There are 2 questions to my story. So here we go. Me and my best friend have been friends for about 6 years now, and we have always been inseparable, but I have this problem. Our entire friendship, she has been a boy magnet. Like, she never doesn't have a date on the weekends. And me, on the other hand, I'm lucky if I even get a date. My friend is really pretty, but at the same time, I kind of feel like we're even on the look scale. So what's the problem? How do I do that? Because most of the time I see how many of the guys go after her, and it just makes me feel bad because I feel like I'm not on her level. Okay, now the second part. So after high school, she moved away to college, but we still stayed pretty close. She began to make friends down there, which I'm not against, but the friends down there are a little careless in how they act with boys, and she's kind of beginning to pick up on that behavior to the point that when she comes up and visits, she can't go a day without being around a guy, even when she's around me. She always has to have a guy by her side, and it's awkward for me because then I end up being the third wheel, and it doesn't feel good to be the third wheel. Girl, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, we got into this huge fight because she was coming up to visit, and our friend group planned to have a girls' day because it had been a long time since we had all hung out. She, of course, invited a guy.
No.
And that's girl code, rule 1.
Oh, totally.
If you're having a girls' day, keep it a girls' day. If it's been discussed,
it's literally in the title.
It's the rule.
Like, there's no excuse.
You can't have a girls' day and bring a guy. No. Okay. She of course invited a guy and then decided not to tell me, but to tell all of the other girls. And then they thought that we had changed it into just a big group date. But no one told me. I figured out that day, and well, I had no one to go with because just a week before I had broken up with my boyfriend. I'm sorry about that. So obviously I had no one to go with. So I ended up being the third wheel, or in this case, the 7th wheel. When I canceled, she called me asking why, and I told her, and I got a little mad. This is when our fight broke out, and we had a yelling battle on the phone. Me and her fight all the time, but in the sibling bickering fighting kind of way. We have never gotten into this big of a fight before. We have talked a couple of times after this, and I have tried to tell her how I feel with the whole thing. I just feel like going down to college has changed her, and we are just growing farther and farther apart, but I don't want that to happen. I want to stay friends with her. She still is a really good friend, and I love her like a sister. I just don't know what to do because she doesn't understand why I have such a problem with it, because I don't think she has ever had to third wheel in her life. So can you please help tell me what to say to her, because I don't want to lose her as a friend, but I hate dealing with all of this. Thank you so much for reading my story, Ashley.
Aww.
I know. There's a lot of things
hard.
I wanted to hit, but like I just really quickly feel like me and you, Taryne, can both really empathize with her. Just in the fact, I feel like we talk about it all the time, but I'm just going to like remind you guys, we're both super single.
Yep.
And I have really begun to rock the third wheel role. Like I'm really good at it.
Me too.
And I feel like my friends have even picked up on that, to the point where I feel like all of their guy friends / boyfriends / fiancés, whatever they are, they all adore me because I'm a good time, because I've really just like been like, all right, I'm going in solo and we're just gonna like not be weird and we're just gonna like rock it, you know? So I feel like me and Taryne can both really empathize with you on having to deal with that. And it isn't fun a lot of the time. And there is this unspoken, like, okay, like if you go to Disneyland, the 7 of you guys,
You're just by yourself.
you're just by yourself. Like, and that's just one of the things.
With all the weird single writers.
And then even, and then if any of they're like, oh, well, maybe we should like rotate or something like that. You know, they're doing it because of you.
You're like, nah.
And it's just this whole like, do I want to deal with that?
Yeah.
Like that's a sucky feeling. And I'm so sorry, Ashley, that you're stuck doing that. There are a few things I wanted to like mention right off the bat. I know it's really hard not to do this. We all do this, but I really would advise you to try to lean away from comparing yourself to her. That is literally, there's nothing you can do that can only hurt you. And that's also not fair to her.
Yeah.
Because you're building up this anger against her for something that she has no control over.
Yeah. You're talking about the whole like her being like she's pretty, but like I feel like I am. And,
and so like the whole like pretty comparison is really, I think, a not healthy way to go about viewing your friend.
Yeah. It should be separate. Like you appreciate her for her beauty and appreciate yourself for your own.
Yeah.
And there's no like standard. That always
that's
drives
the whole thing.
me insane.
There's no standard.
Like how people will be like, oh, like she's not pretty. Like, well, how do you know? Maybe not to you.
What is pretty? Yeah.
Because even us, like, we'll be driving and I'll be like, oh, that guy's hot, and Ashley's like, eh. Or like vice versa.
Everyone's different, and I'm not ttrying to downplay this. I have been around beautiful people in my life, and it's literally been to the point where I've just like walked. I've like met I've met a few people that were models, like full-time models, like at events and stuff, and I just remember being like, well, God, I quit. You know?
And they're like no makeup, hair thrown up, and
they're like super natural. They didn't even get ready, and I'm over here with like caked on makeup, and my hair is like sprayed to my face. Just trying so hard. So I don't mean to downplay it.
No, yeah,
but it's just one of those things where the older you get, I think the more you realize that that's only hurting you.
Yeah,
and you really have to change how you think about yourself and about your friend, because she could be beautiful, but that doesn't mean that you're less or she's more.
And I will say, like, as far as I feel like I've been in that where I'm like with a friend that like guys are always hitting on her, and I'm like, like literally they'll like push past me to be like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And I'm like, you're literally sitting on my lap, like I am here.
Can't you leave?
Please, hello.
Not even addressing.
But I think like there's differences too. Like for some reason, people have told me before that I'm like intimidating, like they were intimidated to approach me, which I always think that's so strange.
I think that's really strange for you.
I'm like the most like I'll talk to anyone, you know?
Yeah.
And I have also had where so many times guys have told me like, oh yeah, I used to have a huge crush on you, but like
guys
never
have
approached
told
me on it.
About how them and their friends had a crush on Taryne. And I remember getting mad at this point because like me and you were already friends, and I was like, well, why the hell didn't you tell her?
Yeah, I literally
just
thought
so upset
nobody
for you.
liked me. Yeah. But so I think sometimes like it might be, I mean, from what she's explaining about her friend, it seems like her friend probably is putting off a very open vibe if she's like wanting that attention. And I think people read that. You know what I mean? Like a guy is going to see that and be like, oh, like, hey, like she's like wanting to talk, or I'm sure she's like looking around and making eye contact, which opens up the invitation to like come talk.
Totally.
Whereas you might be like, oh, I'm just here with my friend, and you seem more like closed off. So all that's to say, I don't know if that's the case, but there's always like other factors. And honestly, like it might be a good thing that these guys aren't approaching you. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're wanting something more solid anyways, I think it's worth waiting longer to find that than like having people approach you constantly.
Yeah, and that's actually something I wrote down also. I did want to say if she is giving off that vibe, which I feel like guys and girls go through phases where I remember going through a phase where I was like boy crazy.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the phase that she's in right now, but that phase never lasts, at least with people that I've grown up with. That's not something that brings those kinds of relationships around, like the good kind that brings the like let's play around and goof off and just have fun kind of relationships, which can seem fun at the time, but in the end it's never gonna like fulfill you or make you actually genuinely happy. So all this to say, like it might be a blessing that these guys aren't looking in your direction, like Taryne was saying, because you're not gonna have to deal with the mess afterwards. So that's something to consider. With the whole third wheeling thing, I kind of touched on it already. But I feel like you either have to embrace it or just like not go.
Yeah.
So you either, if you're very uncomfortable with it and you don't want to do this, just don't go.
Yeah, which
give a
I
reason.
Was say
no
I'm proud
one
of
has
her
to,
for not going
exactly.
to that event. Like that's
like
a good
no
thing.
one has to. No one can force you. And if you don't want to go, you don't want to go. And honestly, like I would rather you just be happy in the end. If this is something that you really want to go to, but you're really bummed that you're a single person, but you're still wanting to go, I would freaking just milk it.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, who's buying my dinner? Or like, just be like, hey, someone better sit with me, or just make it like a whole joke, because I think it makes the whole situation a little easier.
Yeah.
Because you're already joking about it, which gives them liberty to just kind of like relax about the whole situation if they were feeling weird. And then 90% of the time, they will buy you something. So free food, it's a win-win.
I literally so I have two brothers.
Yes.
One has been in a relationship forever and one just got married. So now when we go on family vacation, there's like 1,000 of us.
Right.
But it's my mom and my dad, Ryan and Julia, Brett and Vanessa, and me.
You know what's great is I've witnessed all of this.
Yes.
I was there before the girls.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And now the girls are here.
Which I love. I freaking love them. But the other day, my dad now, because everything's so much more expensive, and it's like, okay, well, you're bringing your people. So he said, like, you guys can start paying for your own.
Yeah.
So I was like, ugh, annoying. But then finally, we were at dinner the other day, and I was like, I don't think I should have to pay for myself. And they were like, what? And I was like, it's not fair because I am single. And it's not fair that just because they decide to bring people, I have to pay for my own stuff now, Dad. And I'm like, like a straight up adult, like
Mr.
whining.
E. Yeah.
And they were just like cracking up. And I'm always like, or like when we're sitting at tables, I'll be like, oh, I guess I'm the one sitting over here across from no one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is funny. Like you do have to kind of just roll with it and make jokes about it so it's more light.
Because I feel like going into those situations, I would feel slightly anxious about it, and it would make the situation worse.
Yeah.
But if you just go in and fake it till you make it, it always is like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And then I'm not kidding. Someone will buy you at least coffee.
As they should.
They're like, hey, do you want a coffee? And I'm like, I sure do. Can I get a venti, please? With like all the extra toppings.
Yeah.
Make my day better.
Yeah.
And then, so the last thing I wanted to address, so hopefully that helped with the third wheeling thing. The last thing that I wanted to address is if you have tried talking to her and she's not getting through, it's not getting through to her, I think what needs to happen is not a phone call. I think you need to sit her down in person because she probably, I'm just guessing off of like the little bit that I know about her, she probably has no idea how this is truly affecting you. Especially if she keeps putting you in these group situations. I doubt that she's actually taking the time to notice how you're feeling because there's so many people around. So if you say that she's still a really good friend to you, aside from this one thing, I feel like if you sit her down in person and say, hey, like, I love you as a friend. If this is where you're going at doing right now, like, that's fine. I freaking support you, girl. But if you want to hang out with me, I need like quality time, or like at least give me a heads up if you're going to bring a guy, because I, just let her know. Like, if you're bringing a guy, I either need to have someone to come with, or I'm probably not going to make it.
Yeah.
And then she'll know not to even invite you if she's bringing a guy, or not to bring a guy around if you two have something planned.
Yeah.
But you need to sit her down and genuinely tell her that this affects you in a very negative way, and you need her as your best friend to step it up.
Yeah. And I think the conversation, like, if you're afraid, like, oh, I don't want to get in another like yelling fight, I think it's always hard when the conversation comes up when it's already heated. But like, if you do take time to just like, when you guys are just chill, be like, hey, let's go get coffee, like, and just calmly talk about it. But make sure like you put it on yourself. Like, this is how I feel when this happens, and this is what I need. Because if she is going through a change, it's hard as a friend, because you want to be able to say like, hey, like, I don't like what you've been doing. Like, I'm worried about you. But like, ultimately, like, she's going to make her own choice. So you either have to just support her. I mean, make your concerns known, because that's what friendship is like saying, hey, I love you enough to tell you, like, I'm worried about you.
Yeah.
But also, like, if she decides, like, no, this is my life, and like, I want to be irresponsible with guys, like, I want this attention, then like, you have to either step aside if you can't deal with it, or you have to just be like, okay, like, that's your choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because essentially, like, the best friend role means you're there through thick and thin, and change is inevitable, especially if you guys are in college right now. Like, there's just like all this like guy drama. It's so normal. Like, people go through these changes. So, I mean, this might be a 1-year thing, and she'll be out of it in like a season, or like next year she could be like, I'm over guys, and she doesn't date the rest of college. Like, it's such a normal thing. So I would really hope that you don't hold this against her too much, because this is just normal. Like, girls and guys both like go through stuff like this. So I think if you sit her down,
definitely
she'll take it way more seriously. She'll understand,
and then create your boundaries if needed.
And if she continues with the group dates and wanting you to 3rd or 7th or 12th wheel, whatever, I guess be 13th. I don't know.
Dude, imagine being the 13th wheel. That'd be so hard. I feel like
it wouldn't really feel like it, because there's so many people around. But like, then just don't go.
Yep.
Or demand a coffee.
Yeah. Free food or
and a popcorn.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Thank you, Ashley, so much for writing in. Thank you for being vulnerable with us. I really hope that helped. I'm sorry you're going through this, but I think you're gonna be fine if you talk to her. I think it'll be good.
Cool.
Yeah.
You got this.
We support you.
We support you. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and take a break, and then we'll get into my topic, which is a little bit like heavier for sure. Or more just like a very like hard situation to be in.
Okay.
And I actually have 2 stories that go along with it.
Oh.
So
like 2 similar stories?
Yeah. So I think I'm going to read both of them, and then we can kind of just talk about the topic in a whole, but also individually what we would advise for sure. But the first story's title is My Dad's Affair with Google.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, Taryne.
Yes?
It's quiz time.
Ooh, okay.
Guess who our sponsor is right now?
I mean, since I'm holding a paper that
Get
says...
out! We were playing a game, Taryne.
But
guys,
okay, but for
guys.
everyone listening, guys, it's our favorite.
It's our
they
favorite.
Should know.
We have BetterHelp as a sponsor. Again, we go way back. And basically, me and Taryne just talked about how she could do this by heart.
Oh, yeah? Challenge accepted.
So, go for it, Taryne.
Okay.
BetterHelp. Tell us about it.
BetterHelp is licensed professional therapists that can help you in a range of things. So whatever you're going through, there's someone that's specialized to help you. There's 4 modes of communication: text, chat, phone, video. Did I get it right?
Wow, good job.
Okay. Also, you can get signed up with someone in under 24 hours. If for some reason you're not connecting with that person, you can change counselors completely for free.
Good job.
Also, if you're worried about the money, they have financial help.
They do.
If you qualify. But we also are going to help you financially too. I'm sure there's plenty of other things I could say, but we love them. And
you did it.
We're I'm amazing.
I've never been more proud of you in my life. Guys, go to betterhelp.com/unsolicited advice and fill out the questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a counselor that you'll love today. You get 10% off your first month using the discount code unsolicited advice.
If you've been wanting to talk, you can get started right away. All you need to do is go to betterhelp.com/unsolicited advice, fill out a questionnaire, and get matched with a counselor you love.
Again, that's betterhelp.com/unsolicited advice.
Hey, Ash.
Yeah?
You know how we don't have children?
Yeah, very aware.
But if we did have children, we'd want to give them good snacks, yeah?
Oh, I mean, totally. This is weird. It's a bad idea.
It's a great idea. No, I'm actually super pumped because today we are working with Perfect Bar, and they have a refrigerated snack bar that is like so healthy, and they are the original refrigerated protein bar, but now they have a kids one.
Is it only for, like, could we eat it? Or is it like,
I mean, I eat kids snacks.
I know.
So sure.
Healthy in this
But it's
convenient.
like
and maybe I
specifically for
want it.
kids, Ash.
Guys, this is exciting. Perfect Kids line of fresh from the fridge snack bars have freshly ground peanut butter, up to 8 grams of whole food protein. That's right, 8 grams of whole food protein, 8 organic superfoods, handpicked for kids with nutritional needs, and a cookie dough-like texture that both you and your kids will love. So, other than your kids loving the taste, as a parent,
Which
not
we're
like we know, you can feel good about giving them Perfect Kids bars because they are organic, non-GMO, project verified, gluten-free, soy-free, kosher, and low GI. I'm telling you, I want to eat
I
these
know.
myself.
I feel like we are going to eat them ourselves. And right now, Perfect Bar is offering you 15% off your online order. Just go to perfectbar.com/advice. Shop their refrigerated snacks at perfectbar.com/advice today to get 15% off your order.
Be ready this season with Perfect Kids. Go to perfectbar.com/advice to stock up and save 15% off.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First, let me just take a moment to say I absolutely adore not only your podcast, but also you too.
Oh, thank you.
I love you too. Now, I feel I'm not understanding the sentence, but maybe you can.
Okay.
She said, "You have made my prescription change." I don't know if maybe like it was perspective and it like corrected it.
I'm guessing so. I don't know
But
how
I
we
don't know
could
if,
change
like-
someone's prescription.
Like, is that like a cool thing kids are saying now? Like my prescription?
I don't think so.
Is that what the kids say now?
I don't think so.
And you have also made me cry because I was laughing so hard. I can't thank you enough for what you are doing. And let me tell you,
Unless
if
she's
you are
like
using
super
this,
depressed, and we brought so much joy into her life. She
oh my God, Ash, that's heavy.
Well, that's the only reason we
Maybe.
could. Oh, I feel like that's the only way we could actually change a prescription.
I mean, that's awesome if that's the
If
case.
that's true, wow. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I feel like it's perspective.
Maybe. She said, if you're using this, I'll be freaking out. Well, freak out because I'm about to read it.
Freak out dance.
Freak out dance. Okay, now on to my story. Oh, she says, plus, I'm hiding in my room right now writing this because I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about this. So hopefully this will help. Let me start off by saying I'm 14 years old. So young.
Yeah.
So innocent.
Baby.
Okay. I know y'all usually want to know the ages. Also, I would like to be called C, not my actual name. So hello, C. Anyway, I've grown up so far with very strict parents and many, many rules, and my parents have grown up the same way. One day I was practicing my violin and I asked my dad if I could use his phone as a metronome. I didn't have a phone at the time. ... rules. Without hesitation, he said yes, and I brought it to where I was practicing. When it wasn't loading, I groaned. My dad didn't know how to clear his tabs. As I went through closing the tabs, I came across one with a naked woman. Immediately, I closed it, pretending I didn't see it, and blamed it on an ad that must have popped up. I went on with my life as usual. Keep in mind, we were never allowed to talk about stuff like that, and this was probably my first time even typing the word naked. Fast forward to a couple weeks later, when yet again I had to clear all of my dad's tabs for him, I was surprised to see yet another tab with the same thing. Now I was starting to wonder about these ads that keep popping up. But after a third and a fourth time, I no longer wondered. I guess I'm asking advice on what to do. I definitely don't want to tell my mom because then she will feel insecure about herself, and I don't want that to happen. It's not like he doesn't love her. They've been married for 22 years and have 4 daughters. And I don't want to tell my brothers, or I don't want to tell my sisters because that will change their view of him. Briefly, I thought about restrictions on his phone until I reminded myself that he is a full-grown adult. I wanted to talk to him, but I know he will not confess and will lie to me about what he has done, not wanting my view to change of him. I really just need help because I haven't been able to get it out of my head for a few months. Oh, it's such a long time to hold that.
That's a long time.
By the way, don't get me wrong. I love my dad. He is the best dad ever. I'm sorry that this is all over the place. Honestly, it just felt good to get it off my chest. Maybe I'll be able to sleep now. Thank you for reading to the end. Your devout? I always forget how to say your devout. Oh, podcast listener C. She said, P.S. You should really come up with a name for your fans. Which we'll come back to that later because we want to stick to this topic. So I don't know if I should just read the second one too.
Yeah, let's go into the second one. If
Actually,
they're
no.
related.
Let's do them separate because it is a little bit separate of a
Different situation.
like the specifics. Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, I just want to say that is so much to hold on your little heart. And I'm glad that you wrote in because I think it's good for you to have someone to talk or at least to listen to about this. Because honestly, holding that in for months, that's not fair. And it's not fair that you had to find that. And I just wanted to start by saying that we're so sorry because my heart hurts for you because I can't imagine anything that happens where you feel disappointed or shocked at your parents. It's so unnatural because they're supposed to do no wrong and always do the right thing, you know?
And we all know people are stupid and people are human and they're going to make mistakes, but it's hard at that age to come around and face that.
Yeah.
Especially when no one in your family knows.
Yeah.
That's a really tough position.
Well, because then I'm sure she's reading every interaction her dad has and just your mind starts to spiral.
And all those emotions are bottling up. And then every little thing he does or says, you're going to start questioning and doubting him. And that's just a really sticky position to be in. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I personally, I think that you need to take some kind of step. What you're comfortable with, that's going to have to do with how you feel. It seems right now that you're not too comfortable to fully talk to anybody about it yet. And I get not wanting your sisters to think different or not wanting to hurt your mom's feeling. I understand that. But I also think if you need to talk to someone and you feel more comfortable talking to them, that I think it's okay for you to do that. If it sounds, she keeps coming back to I want to say something to him. Maybe if you're not too comfortable to fully talk to him about it, it sounds like this keeps happening where you're finding it. So maybe the next time you do, have it open to that tab and just hand him the phone back and just kind of say, hey, sorry, I was just trying to help close your tabs. And then that way, he knows you saw it and maybe that'll open up a conversation, but it doesn't need you to sit down and be like, Dad, this is what I saw. This is how, you know what I mean? That might kind of be an easy way to just let him know that you know and hope that spirals him to either talk to you about it or maybe just to reconsider maybe the choices he's making on his own time.
Yeah.
But that's the most removed way I could think of starting it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably the most removed thing I would do.
Yeah.
As well. I do want to say that I think it's very admirable that you want to protect your mother.
Yeah.
And I think that's so sweet and that shows your character and your heart, and I think that's beautiful. But on just a separate note, being an outsider and being older than you, I think that your mom wouldn't like that you're carrying this by yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that she would rather you come to her and tell her than hold on to it and be struggling with it.
Yeah.
So
I personally, if I were you, I would probably tell my mom.
Yeah.
Because she is a grown woman and that is her husband and she has a right to know.
Yeah.
Another thing you could do is even tell them both.
Yeah.
Where he can't hide or deny. She's there to witness it.
Yeah.
And you just say, hey, I just want you both to know that I found this. I found this a while ago. It's really affected how I've been living and I need you guys to deal with this.
Yeah.
And then walk away because it's not your job.
No, it's not. This is not your thing to fix or to hold. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important that you understand that. And you've been holding this weight for way too freaking long. Like, it's not fair that you are holding this or feeling like you are trying to hold your family together.
Yeah.
They're adults and they need to deal with this themselves. Mm-hmm. And this is something between them that they need to discuss.
Yeah. And I think it does sound really scary, but I think at the root of it, like pornography is a real addiction.
Yeah.
And it's a real problem, and it doesn't mean he doesn't love your mom.
No.
But it's something that he and your mom can work through, but they need to know about. She needs to know about it before they can start moving forward.
Yeah, and it sucks. I mean, I know like. For her, because now she was like exposed to something and she mentions that like that's the first time she's ever seen something like that.
Yeah.
So I think, it's healthy to talk about it. Like unfortunately, like you can access literally anything on your phone, which is why my children will not be having phones till they're like 18.
30. No, I'm just kidding.
But like this is a topic that people have 1,000 different opinions on and 1,000 different like whether they're convicted or not, or whether they're okay with it or not. Mm-hmm. But all of this to say, like, that's not yours to hold.
It's not your job. Yeah.
I would definitely talk to someone. Mm-hmm. If you're more comfortable with your mom, then talk to her. Or maybe even write a letter and say, Mom and Dad, hey, I would love to talk to you both. Here's this letter, and I just want you to know I love you both. And, like, I can't hold this on myself. And I want to give this to you because I'm handing it to you to deal with, and then walk away. Walk away,
and, Yeah, something else you can do. This is random, but one of my really good friends went through something like this also. She was using her dad's computer and found letters between him and another woman. And she panicked, and we were really good friends, and she told my mom.
Yeah.
And I think it helped her to talk to my mom first before addressing her mother. So if there is anyone that you're really close with outside that can kind of like maybe prep you or encourage you before, going into that conversation, if you know someone that you like really trust, then I would recommend maybe even mentioning it to them too, so that they can support you through telling your parents, only if you know someone like genuinely close to you who can love you and help you through that. Because I know that my friend, that really helped my friend. Because she was really scared too, and I think she was 14. So that might help if you know someone.
Yeah, but all this to say, you need to let it go. That's too heavy for you.
Yeah, that is in no way your responsibility or your job or your burden to carry. And we're so proud of you that you're even handling it in this way. Like so much forethought and wisdom is like just like seeping out of this email. The fact that you're even concerned about your mom or worried about how your sisters view your dad just shows how mature you are. Mm-hmm. So proud of you for reacting this way, and I'm really pumped for you to hand this over to your parents and let it go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, totally agree. So I'm going to read really quick through this other one.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an interesting situation because she brings up that her friend she's a 2 and her friend's a 9.
Whoa, us.
Yeah,
our
us.
people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Hi, Taryne and Ashley. I'm currently in a desperate situation, and I know only you guys can help me with it. The story I'm about to tell you isn't really about me, but somehow it is. I know, super complicated. Anyway, I would like to remain anonymous on this one if you ever read it. Turns out I'm a type 2 Enneagram, which really explains a lot of things. Oh my God, me. When I read it, I was like, oh my God.
I feel like I already know you.
Yep. My best boyfriend, so he's not her boyfriend, but he's a guy friend. is actually a type 9. I found he struggles a lot sharing his feelings, and he prefers to wait until the situation is over before sharing it with anyone else. Ashley's like, yeah.
Relatable.
Yep. She says, so me being the number 2 I can't handle knowing he's going through something and that I can't help him out. Anyway, yesterday, for the first time ever, he told me a secret he's been holding on to for months now. We live nearby, so he asked me if I could go for a walk with him at night. We began talking about whatever, and all of a sudden he told me everything that's been going on in his life. Turns out his mother asked him to check his dad's computer for conversations with other women, and he found everything and more. Not only did he discover that his dad was having an affair with other women, but that he's been doing it since 2016. My heart aches. He told me that he needed to tell me because he really didn't know what to do or what to think about everything. He sees his dad with different eyes now, and with good reason. But here's the part that hurts me the most. He never opens up like that, and I've always encouraged him to speak his feelings, and the one time he does, I didn't have a word to say to him. I don't know what to tell him or how to help him go through this. I can't tell anyone because that would be betraying his trust, and I don't want to do that. But I clearly need help, and I would love some perspective from another number 9, Ashley, and an outside perspective, Taryne. Thanks for reading this. Even if you don't read this, writing this is somehow therapeutic. Your podcast is my favorite. You guys are the reason I love Mondays. Wishing you the best, Anonymous.
Oh.
Again, like, why are these
so
kids
sad.
holding these burdens? Like, it bothers me. That's so hard.
That's real. That really sucks.
Yeah.
Both of these situations are just so rough.
Yeah.
Did you have something ready, or did you want me to?
Well, yeah, I
go
just
off on
I want to clarify, especially to UC, like, we're not comparing these two. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, his dad was having an affair, your dad, like, not at all the same. These are totally separate like subjects, even though like a lot of people think like, oh, if you're looking at stuff, it's like having an affair, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not comparing the two.
Yeah.
These two correlated in my eyes because it's these young kids having to deal with these burdens of their parents, which is it feels so unnatural. Like I said earlier,
it's
like
not
your
fair.
parents are supposed to take care of you, like not you fearing what's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say, Anonymous, like, I think your friend, like, we're not necessarily giving advice like for him because you're the one writing in, but I think being a 2 and seeing that, feeling like you somehow missed your opportunity, that's not the case.
No.
And honestly, like, and I'll let you talk about being a 9 because you are. Honestly, you just like letting him talk probably was like the best thing you could have done anyways.
Yeah. That actually goes really well into like what I was going to say.
Okay.
I think one of the main things that 9s struggle with is like having a voice and like sticking up for themselves. They have opinions. I don't want to disregard that, but 90% of the time I feel like they don't get to voice those opinions. They often feel overlooked because they're constantly like trying to help other people. So that being said, I think it really sucks that his mom put that responsibility on him.
Oh my God, yeah.
Knowing that he was probably going to do it for her.
Yeah.
So I think what you did was actually best because I think he probably knows that wasn't fair, and he probably doesn't get to stick up for himself too much in his family, I'm guessing, if she felt that she was able to have him do the hard job of looking at the computer.
Yeah.
But I think 9s really struggle with feeling like they're being heard. And I think you gave him a beautiful moment where he was able to actually fully open up because he trusts you so much, and he was able to actually open up and tell you everything he feels, and that doesn't require an answer sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that just is a really beautiful thing where you guys are close enough to where he was able to just kind of let it all out, and I guarantee you he feels so much better getting that off of his chest.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that was probably like for lack of a better word, like marinating in him for a really long time. Like that's just been stewing and just like going over and over, and he's replaying everything that he read in his head. He's replaying his mom asking him and then having to tell his mom, and like this whole situation has been stuck in him, and he doesn't want to talk about it because it makes him feel gross and it makes him feel sad, and he's really unsure about life and his parents right now. He's probably unsure about his future right now. But just being able to like open up and talk is so freeing, and I don't think we really realize how freeing it is until you feel like you can't do that. So I think you did the best thing by just letting him talk. I think a lot of times people try to throw answers at people where it's like, no, I don't necessarily need to hear what I should do. I just need you to hear me, you know, see me and let me feel validated in my feelings right now. And I think you did exactly that, which is such a great friend. So,
and I think especially for twos, because we are so overly caring. Ashley actually texted me the other day from, what's that Instagram?
I don't know. Let me pull it up.
Okay. She texted me, there was like this Enneagram Instagram account that like was doing like 9s and 2s. And one of the parts said how sometimes 2s are so overly emotional that it can make the 9s like uncomfortable. So especially if he was in a moment of being vulnerable and talking, like him just speaking could have been like all he had the capacity to do. Like if you would have started asking questions or telling him what you thought or things like that, that might have overwhelmed him. So maybe just being, like Ashley said, like giving him that safe space to like hear and accept like what he has to say. And then from now, you know, checking in on him, just letting him know you're there. And again, providing him that space he might need just to like vent about it and talk about it. And I would, if you are going to encourage him anything, just like we were saying in the previous story, I would encourage him to like hand it over and just say like, hey, like I shouldn't be involved in this. This is between you and Dad. Like this is too much. It's too painful and it's too much on me. So like I need you guys to like take over from here. I would definitely encourage him to do that. But I think as far as like knowing what to say, like I really think everyone needs to learn. Sometimes just saying nothing and just being a presence where that person knows I care for you and I'm here for you. And whatever you need to say, like I'm ready to take it and like walk through this with you.
Yeah. And if you are to talk to him again, something I would recommend saying is just maybe reassuring him that wasn't fair of his mom to ask him to do that. And being a 9, we really are extremely, like we're the most empathetic number on the Enneagram. So I feel like he probably felt like he had no choice. And was like thrown into this whole situation. So I would just take some time to really help him understand that what he was asked to do was not fair.
No, not fair at all.
And it doesn't mean that his mom doesn't love him or anything like that. It just means that wasn't fair of her to do that to him. So it's okay for him to even tell her that it really sucks that she put him in that position.
I agree.
So it's okay. Like it's literally, I would just reassure him by saying that he can be upset that he got thrown into that. Like that's not fair. And we a lot of times tend to stuff our emotions and we don't really know what to do with our anger. So giving a voice to that anger, like giving him permission to be angry about that is what he needs right now. Because he's probably stuffing it and thinking like he doesn't want to add on to the flame that is his family right now. But like the truth is he has every right to be upset. Because that's not his responsibility. That's between him and his mom and her husband. You know? So allowing him and giving him permission to be upset is actually something that I think he could really use.
Oh yeah, totally.
I did find the Instagram.
Oh yeah.
It's 9 Types Co. So we're really into the Enneagram. If you haven't noticed, I follow probably 10 Instagram accounts because I'm just, a big fan. But this one is 9 Types Co. That's NINETYPESCO. This is just, I guess, a free plug to that. They have a series that they started called the Relationship Series. And they have static posts where it's, for example, this one is the number 1 and their relationships, and it gives a small little synopsis of what the number 1's relationship looks like with each number.
It's so cool.
And then it goes through all the numbers. So it's like the 1 and all of their relationships between other ones, as well as 1 through 9. And then it does the same thing for 2s, 3s, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That's so cool. Yeah, if you guys are into the Enneagram, definitely get on that.
Yeah, so much fun.
And yeah, thank you guys so much for writing in, especially the vulnerable stories. Like, I always appreciate that. And it's so cool. Just even like both of these stories were just like, honestly, just writing it out, felt like so much
It must
of
have
the
been
burden.
so helpful.
Yeah.
Because me and Taryne both
Which is why journaling
do
is
so well with journaling.
so powerful.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to end with a quick dad joke.
Please do.
Because,
Let's
got to
bring
give
it
the
up.
people what they want.
Yeah.
And me.
That's what they're really here for.
Okay, what do you call a group of giraffes? You're not going to,
I have no idea.
Okay. A tower. What do you call a stampede of giraffes?
I don't know.
A tower of terror. Get it? Disney?
Do you really call them a tower?
I should have started by saying it. This was a Disneyland dad joke.
Oh.
Whoops.
What's a tower?
I don't know. I think that's
Do you
what
really
you call
giraffes a tower?
I think so. I didn't fact check this, but this was set in from Ashley.
Why are there so many Ashleys in this episode right
Oh,
now?
yeah, that's true.
Crazy.
But I trust her, and if she said it's called a tower, then it's called a tower. But get a tower of terror.
Hey, Siri.
Come on.
What do you call...
I'm on it.
Oh.
Sorry, I can't.
Oh, Siri failed. Okay. She's struggling. I'm a Google
Are
it
you
really
really?
quick. I'm Googling this.
Ashley,
What do
I trust you.
Call a
Group of giraffes.
group of... I can't believe
You
I'm
can't spell
Googling this.
giraffes, can you?
Stop it. I got it. Okay. A group of giraffes is called the tower.
So, boom, in your face. We knew what we were talking
unreal. I've never heard... How come they don't tell you these things in school?
I don't know.
I never learned this, and I feel like I would remember this.
Yeah, I don't know.
A tower?
A good time.
Because they're so tall?
So that was my dad jokes that I ruined the introduction to, and Ashley ruined the flow because she had to get all fact checky on us.
I just want to make
Rude.
sure we were feeding the people truth. That's all I wanted.
That's our whole point of this podcast, is that they maybe shouldn't listen to anything we say.
Anyways, this was so much fun. Thank you guys. I feel like this was a more serious one, so I do want to thank our writers for being so vulnerable
Yes.
with us and being open and
Definitely.
trusting us with these situations. Hopefully that was super helpful. If you guys have not yet, be sure to like, share, subscribe, rate, review
All the things.
each episode individually.
We
Please do
also
that.
have a YouTube channel.
We do.
So we've had some of you that have been like, oh, my podcast app isn't working, or oh, my internet, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the option is always you can put the video on too.
And you can
if
see
you
our
would like.
beautiful faces
Our faces are beautiful.
while we talk instead of just listening to our
True
beautiful
that.
voices.
You can see that I have a disposable camera and cough drops sitting next to me.
And my Celsius and water bottle,
Yeah,
as
good
per
times.
usual.
Yeah. We love you. If you can't get enough of us, I can't talk.
On us.
Go to our socials. We pretty much post every day. We interact there.
Yeah.
Also
our
our Facebook page, all the things.
I feel like we didn't mention it, but it is also like understood. But just to reiterate, October series is over. It was a good time. We had a great time.
Stop trying to scare
We
us.
don't need any more October stories officially. So we do appreciate them. I don't mean the scary stories have to end.
No.
If you have something that like you would like advice on and it just happens to be scary, like send it in. It sounds great. But the
we are
actual
doing-
series is over.
We are doing awkward family situations
For Thanksgiving.
for Thanksgiving, and honestly, Christmas probably might be like
you might as well
kind of
just
the
send
same
in
thing.
all the stories.
So
holiday
awkward
stories.
family holiday stories. We love them. Bring
Yeah,
them.
bring them on.
But also bring regular stuff too, guys.
We want all of it.
We want it all.
But stop. No more October. I
That's
can't
it.
read those things at home anymore.
No.
It's terrifying.
No. We
Okay.
love you guys like an abnormal amount. We'll think about a fan name. It's weird to even think that we have like fans.
I know. It's hard to.
You should be used to this.
Well, like
Astronauts.
something happened today. I went to a famous birthdays meeting and I had to do this like interview thing, and they asked me questions about the podcast, which I've never had happen before.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like I've gone to things and they always want to talk about YouTube or like social media and stuff like that. They had questions specifically pertaining to the podcast
because we're a big deal, guys.
And I was like, oh, you know about that? Like
We're
it
a
was
big
so
deal.
exciting for me. So yeah, we're gonna come up with a name for you
Cool.
guys because it is past time that we do that. It is past.
Due
Anyways,
time.
we're going to let her keep figuring that sentence out. And we love you guys. Thanks for listening all the way. If you've listened all the way, just DM us
You the realist.
that you listened.
Yeah.
Because, we don't know who's still listening.
It's literally just us.
We should stop talking. Okay. We love you.
Bye.